Hello, I'm Archbishop Coyne, and this is Coffee with the Archbishop, and joining me with an empty cup is Father Anthony Federico, who's our vocations director, for now at least.
Wow.
I don't know what the deal was with the empty cup, but
Well, the first time I was on your show, we established that I don't drink coffee.
That's true. So I'm wearing a pectoral cross, by the way. I think it's like a second-class relic because it was given to a bishop friend of mine by St. John Paul II. It's got his name on it.
That's pretty cool.
So when he died, he willed it to me. So I get to keep it. So I remember Father Walter, Bishop Walter.
So you have St. John Paul II's pectoral cross. You met Mother Teresa. You said Master of the Community.
That was the
racking up some saints.
So when I was in Rome, and I used to teach at one of the local universities, it was basically where the Third World nuns would go. And so I had a number of the Sisters of Charity, Missionary Sisters of Charity, Mother Teresa's folks. And so they said, can you come out and say Mass for us like once a month? And I'd say, yeah, it's early in the morning. You had to get on the bus line. You got to go way out. It was quite a bit of bother to get out, but I didn't mind doing it once a month. So I walk in for regular Mass, and they're all sitting down on the floor, and they got a little chair and a table like this for me. And I come in, and I sit down, and then I look, and over in the back is Mother sitting there. She was just making a visit there, and she's just there. So she's there for daily Mass, and I was like, okay.
Mother Teresa's in the congregation.
Right. So I gave a homily about the need to be vigilant and whatever. I just gave this homily about working in the Lord, but also taking rest as you can. And at the end, she said, she started talking to them in Italian. She says, I want to correct what Father said. Rest is for when you are dead, she said. She said, you work and you can take your time. You will get some rest, but we are about work.
I guess if you're going to have
I was like, okay, I just got corrected by Mother Teresa.
If you're going to get corrected by anyone, I guess getting corrected by Mother Teresa is the best person you should probably have at that time.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
And then after Mass, they'd always invite me into like a little side room where they'd give me Italian coffee and a cornetto. And she did come in and say hello to me.
This is actually perfect because the homily that you gave that Mother Teresa took a red pen to was about rest.
Yeah.
And our conversation today on Coffee with Coyne is going to be about Sunday the day of rest.
Yeah, Sunday rest. So, I don't know about a lot of our folks, but I grew up in a large family, and we had a lot of cousins, a lot of nieces, aunts and uncles all around, Grandma and Grandpa Kelleher. They weren't too far away. So Sundays we were always at somebody's house, Sunday dinner. So we'd either have it in my house, or we'd go to Aunt Mary's house or Aunt Barbara's house or my grandma's house or whatever. And so there'd be a lot of people. And the Sunday dinner was always a roast of some sort, We were Irish, so we didn't start out with pasta, but there was a roast. And it was always like a big roast that you could then get a couple of other meals out. But it was always started with the family going to Mass. We'd go together. Then we'd get in the car, and we'd all go to wherever we're going. We'd have dinner, aunts and uncles would meet, then the kids would play, and then we'd come home. But I remember when we had the roast in my house, my mother could get like 3 meals out of that roast.
Nice.
She'd get soup, she'd get a casserole, something like that. But we didn't do anything on Sunday, like in terms of work or anything. That was when you couldn't go shopping. Sunday was a day of rest, not because anybody had to think about it.
You could not go shopping on Sunday, or you did go shopping on Sunday?
No, most of the stores were not open on Sundays when I was growing up. I wasn't. And so, you could stop at a local store and get like a little thrift shop or something.
Yeah.
Get some milk or something. We'd always go after church, we'd stop and get donuts.
Nice.
That was a big deal. But that was it. So it was the culture to encourage Sunday days off.
Mm-hmm.
They had the blue laws, which didn't allow for certain things to take place on Sundays. That's all changed. So I don't know about what was yours growing up. You're much younger than me.
Much. Emphasize much. Sundays in our house was church in the morning, then either we would all go to the diner afterwards. So my family, the Federico family, the Viziellos, the Masellas, all the cousins would go to the diner together, which was cool. Or we would not, if on days that we didn't go to the diner, it would be a big family dinner, usually around 3:00. If my mom was making a crab sauce that day, you would wake up on Sunday and the sauce would already be starting to boil before you leave, simmer before you leave for church. So that smell has been a very big part of my Sunday memory. Like you said, the pork, the porchetta, the chicken cutlets, a big dish of pasta.
I'm surprised you're not like a big round little Italian.
I'm round. Trust me. I'm working on it.
Have some more food, Anthony. Have some more food.
But Italian bread, very important part. Now, in my family, my dad is the professional bread butterer. He's very good at buttering bread. And so people will often ask him, hey, Dad, can you butter that for me? Because he does it the best. Now, what does Sunday look like for you nowadays?
Well, for both of us, especially when I was in the parish, it was a day that often didn't have a lot of time.
It's a work day.
Because it was a work day. You had the masses, baptisms. Oftentimes you'd have meetings on Sundays. Might be some religious head Sunday evening. So the guys that are in the parish, they have to be kind of intentional to find a little rest time. But today, I'm usually one or two events, and we're back. But I try and keep Sunday as a day in which I try not do anything other than rest in the Lord after I finish what I'm doing. So I try and avoid going shopping or doing any kind of task. Well, I don't do a lot of, I don't mow the lawn. But I try and avoid shopping. I try and avoid going to places or going to work. I try and avoid coming over here to work because it's Sunday.
It's a day of rest.
It's a day of rest. It's a day to just kind of rejoice in the fullness of creation as I can. I might call people. I call people on Sunday, family. And in our house, we have the four of us living there. For the most part, most of us, we're finished by like 4 or 5 o'clock. We get home, and usually Sundays either I've cooked something for our dinner, or we will go out to get some pizza, something like that. Get takeout on Sunday. But so we try and make that our evening that we just are together downstairs.
We're
in the TV
intentional
room.
about once a week. We're intentional about coming together. It's usually a Sunday night. We all have our different parish masses, so all 4 of us are usually on the road at a different parish. Then you usually have some event around the archdiocese. But like you said, we all get together in the late afternoon, and we get changed, come downstairs to the common room, and then there's usually food coming. But we put on Red Zone
football,
and we watch football.
Monsignor, we've changed Father Monsignor Shanley into a football fanatic. He's addicted to the Red Zone, which if anybody knows about the Red Zone, it's like they just keep going to game to game to game to game as someone's getting close to scoring.
It's all action. There's very few commercials. And we've ingratiated him into the world of professional sports.
Yeah. Well, he did it by osmosis, because if we're just talking in the room, the next thing you know, he's learning all this stuff about it.
Yeah, we talk sports.
So, I try and encourage people to do the same thing on Sundays, that we're so busy in our lives that as you can, keep Sunday kind of a day of rest, that you have Mass at different times, but you say, it's Sunday. I'm not going to go shopping. I'm not going to do work. I'm not going to add anything more than just resting in the Lord and praying in the Lord. Like you and I, for the most part, like I didn't get up this morning though. Get down to the chapel early for like a holy hour. You do it earlier than me. And Sundays, same. You get down there, you pray, especially on a Sunday.
Now, one thing that you're very good at that the people might benefit from is that when we're downstairs on a Sunday, you usually do not bring your phone down with you. You kind of detach from your phone on a Sunday. You let it stay up in your apartment, and you're kind of just being present to the people. People can do that with their family.
You'd say, why do I bring my phone down on the rest of the week? And oftentimes it's because I'm going to look at the readings for the day online, or I'm going to just double check to make sure, okay, what's today? Oh, it's St. Lucy's Day, So I put it down, and it's there, but and sometimes like I'll pick it up and I'll start doing a reading or something like that. But I try and Sundays, and also when I go out to dinner too, I don't I leave the phone at home. When we go out to places, I don't.
It is remarkable that you leave the house without your phone.
Yep, don't need the phone.
Now, one thing that I think is very important for the people to know is that you have a unique practice on Sundays when you're at the parish. Instead of shaking hands with people at the end of Mass like most priests would do, which priests should do, and Sundays are the day to connect with the people, you've started this wonderful tradition where the people can approach you and ask for your blessing and for your direct intercession in their lives.
Yeah, as it allows. I try and do it upstairs in the church, but now what I do, because usually they'll have like a coffee hour or something and pastries or food in the parish hall. So what I do now is I go into the parish hall. I still stay vested. I go in the parish hall, and they set me up on the side there. And I tell people, if you want to pray, you can approach me. And so the line usually forms. But that allows people.
It's not a business meeting. It's not spiritual direction.
It's
prayer.
Can you pray for my son? He's looking for a job. Can you pray for me? I'm having cancer treatment.
Yep.
Can I put my hand on your head, pray for you? But it's basically I go down into the hall now because otherwise they're waiting for me.
Right.
Because it's usually 30 to 45 minutes after Mass and I'm praying with people. And so now I'm down. The thing is that when I go downstairs, it's like an hour because they finish their coffee and then they get in line.
Now they want to get prayed over.
So-
But the fact that you praying over people in your archdiocese, people feel connected to you. There's this human contact. You're getting into their lives, into their stories, and we know that there's been what?
There's been
two healings.
Two and maybe a third I just heard about over my years as a bishop. 2 healings, significant healings that people have said.
That come from the Lord Jesus working through your ministry.
Not me. I'm the instrument. And that's just, this is a great thing.
I think it's wonderful.
Okay, we got to wrap up. We're getting the signal. Thank you for joining me today on such last notice. I'm not going to turn mine over because it's got coffee in it. You've been watching Coffee with the Archbishop. God bless.